When we listen to the narrative of modern culture, most of academia and popular science, what do we observe? Scientific evidence proving that human evolution unfolded over millions of years. What does the observational evidence actually reveal? Let's peer beneath the surface of a secular documentary and discover our purported evolutionary ancestor, EDA. Is this evidence for human evolution? Equipping yourself with factual evidence and answers to this crucial issue is more important than ever. Coming up on today's edition of Origins, EDA, a missing link with Kerby. Hello, welcome to Origins. I'm Ray Heiple. We have a great show for you today. During this program, we showcase interesting guests who present evidence from science, along with other important facts validating the truth of creation and the accuracy of the Bible. Our guest, Kerby, is a much sought-after speaker both in the United States and abroad. Carl worked as an air traffic controller for over 24 years before going into full-time ministry. He was a founding member of Answers in Genesis before co-founding Reasons for Hope. His passion is to reach people with biblical truths, providing knowledge and reasons why we can trust God and His Word. Welcome to the program, Carl.
Thank you, Mr. Ray.
We're really glad to have you on. This is EDA, is that correct?
The guy who just quote-unquote discovered it, we'll talk about that, named it after his daughter, and that's the way that he pronounced her name, EDA.
EDA. I wasn't actually sure. So EDA, a missing link. Boy, I like the title already. What are we going to be talking about?
Well, we'll talk about EDA. A few years ago, there was this big uproar. I mean, it was a huge uproar, and we had all kind of information coming out about EDA. There was a TV show called The Link. They had a book called The Link. They had a T-shirt, The Link, the plush doll. I mean, this was a big deal. And if you read the headlines, you might as well just give it up and go home. I mean, she was so famous, she got her picture on Google. Come on, you know you're big time when you get your picture on Google, right?
Yes.
And again, if you did any searching at that time, you'd find headlines like this: missing link found. Done.
There it is.
Give it
We're
up.
done.
I mean, another one, Sky News, scientists unveil the missing link in evolution. So when we read those kinds of things, it's like, what in the world could we ever do? I mean, we just might as well give it up and go home.
Close our Bibles, close down our churches because they found the missing link.
Yep.
I'm sorry you have to laugh because, you know, you and I know that they need like 10,000 missing links.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, but I mean, but still, this is almost childish. But we have to answer this because people believe this.
It's in the museums to this day. It's in Denver Museum of Natural History as one of those exhibits showing that we supposedly evolved from an ape-like ancestor. So the question is it true or not?
Yes. Take us up to the board and let's find out.
Okay, let's do it. So remember, Mr. Ray, they have the TV show called The Link. They have the book called The Link. What do you think the URL is for the website? Because we're going to use their information.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's called The Link.
Was a pun intended, going out on a limb? I got that. Well, actually, it is revealing the link.
Oh, they got complicated.
I do that intentionally because I want people to remember that. You know, you lead them down this path. I want you to remember revealing the link, so go check this stuff out. Because we're going to look at their information and what we see in the world, is it consistent with what we read in the Word or not? Now, this was a big deal, and I mean, when you look at what they have on here, revealing the link, it has all this amazing information. Who is EDA? We hit from EDA to us. It takes us to the page where there it is. There's the chart. Wow. EDA all the way on the far left. You start with her, give it enough time, change, we get human beings. So what does the evidence support? And let's use their stuff. Hey, when you get Sir David Attenborough in on the picture, because I'm telling you right now, he has the official voice of evolution. Wow. And he's got a video on there, and I love his voice, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
I got to play this video for you because take a listen to what Sir David Attenborough has to say about EDA.
Now people can say, Okay, you say we're primates, like monkeys and apes, and that we came from very simple, generalized mammals. Show us the link. The link, they would have said, until now, is missing. Well, it is no longer missing.
Well, I guess we need to give it up and go home because Sir David has spoken.
Wow.
But did you notice something interesting? The link they would have said up until now was missing. What does that mean about all the other links that we've had for supposedly the last 150 years?
I mean, I thought we found the link, I can't tell you how many times.
Exactly,
right?
and he's acknowledging that they're missing. But now we have EDA, that's it, case closed. So let's address it. Let's look at their information and let's see what it actually shows. Because Sir David told us point blank, the link they would have said up until now is missing. Well, it is no longer missing. So let's take him at his word and check and see, because that's the best thing we can do. Listen carefully now. This next video clip, this TV program was about an hour and a half long, but I went through, and this next clip is a montage. I'm being fair here, right? Because in a TV show called
The Link?
The Link, I was listening carefully as I go through there, right? And let's take a listen to see if anything pops up at you in this TV show called The Link.
The team thinks they believed it could shed new light on human evolution. She seems to be a bit of both. This could be it. It could help science. Could everyone on the planet be connected to this amazing find? Could hold the clue to link Ida to man. Could reveal her ancient behavior. It could shine a light deeper into our history than ever before. Could show whether it's a link to man's early evolution. They may have found the first ever link to human beings.
Wow, that was very effective the way you did that. Could, may, could. Wow, in effect, they didn't say anything.
So what was the name of the TV show? Could be The Link?
Yeah, they didn't
Maybe
call it
The
that.
Link? Might be The Link?
Yeah.
No, The Link. This
Link.
is something that people really have to understand, Mr. Ray. Do not just read headlines. Go read the actual article and then read sources that they cite, because I'm telling you, headlines are written by people that are trying to sell you a story. And most of the time, you're not going to find the evidence in the article to hold up to the title. So we're going to keep digging here because I want to know what they found here. So we're going back to the link. We're going to push on the cool little button here of her anatomy, and we'll see a picture in a second. But before we get there, I want to set this up with a non-Christian quote here just to show you how powerful what we're going to watch is. Creationists ultimately are not interested in science. Excuse me. Go look up the founders of science. You guys, I know, have done episodes on who the founders of science were. They were Christians. They were people that believed in a God,
Absolutely.
right? We invented the process, okay? Yes. So yeah, we care deeply. But if you get an 1828 dictionary, check out the definition for science there, compare it with today. That's where you see why they can say this. They've redefined the term. And setting aside preconceptions and following trails of observable evidence to logical, testable conclusions. So let's do that. Let's set aside our preconceived ideas and go look at that observational evidence. And here it is. Wow, what are we going to do? There's Ida. And when we read up here, it says this: her anatomy has remarkable similarities to our own. So let's take a look at those remarkable similarities and see if we can deal with anything.
When you look at the fossil for the first time and you get an impression of the completeness, and you start to look at all the different details on this fossil, it's a quite short face. It's not like a very elongated face like you see in most lemurs. And that's comparable almost to us, because we got a very, very flat face.
Mr. Ray, what are we going to do? We have a very flat face, just like Ida. Set aside your preconceived idea, push on the cool interactive button. Ida has a short face like ours, not the elongated face of a lemur. Well, I compared her skull with a human skull.
Yeah.
And then I compared her skull with a lemur skull. Sure enough, looks like us. Look, I'm sorry, if you got anybody in your family with a mug like that, I apologize. But that is lemur as lemur gets. This is their 3D reconstruction, okay? This is lemur as lemur gets.
Yeah. Wow.
But wait.
It's like the emperor has no clothes so far, I'm telling you.
There's more.
Okay.
When you're looking at the whole body, you can look at the quite short arms, quite short legs. Not these very, very long legs and arms. Quite a small, compact body, like us.
Oh no. What are we going to do, Mr. Ray? She has arms like us. I mean, look, she's got 2 arms. She's got 2 arms just like
Yeah.
a lemur. I mean, it's a lemur. What are we going to do? Oh, no.
Creating an accurate 3D model of Ida. Now the team can compare her skeletal anatomy with living animals in minute detail.
Watch.
Her body proportions and finger length suggest she's a lemur.
This is the same program where we got told that she's got arms like us, and then her finger length and her arms suggest she's a lemur, and they didn't do it once, they did it twice.
But her body proportions and the length of her fingers are like a lemur's.
Now, there's some deception going on here with just this image right here, Mr. Ray.
Yeah.
In order to have a missing link between apes and humans, you have to have something that has both ape and human characteristics. The way that you know you've got a missing link is when you have something that looks like an ape but walks like a human. And look, there she is.
Yeah.
She's 2/3 of the way upright. She fits the bill. Looks like an ape but walks like a human.
I love the flat face there, too. It's just so flat.
But guess what? Let's go back to their TV show where they compare the skeletal structure of her hips with a chimpanzee. Chimpanzees are...
They are quadrupeds, walking on all 4s, as she would have done in...
As who would have done?
Ida.
Ida, therefore, was a knuckle dragger. Why do they show her walking upright 2/3 of the way? Our youth are being lied to. This information is not, you don't see this in the museums. You'll see her just there as one of our supposed evolutionary ancestors. But there's more.
You can see that it's got 5 fingers, of course, and nails on all the fingers. But also, the thumb is opposable like us. So it can grasp things, it can hold things the same way we do today. It's already there 47 million years ago. It's a proper hand to hold around things.
What are we going to do, Mr. Ray? She's got 5 fingers like us. She's got a hand like us. I mean, she has certain undeniable human characteristics such as forward-facing eyes and an opposable thumb. What could we ever do? Set aside your preconceived ideas. Go look at the actual evidence. Push on those really cool hands. Looky there. She does have 5 fingers. She does have a thumb. She does have a nail, just like a lemur. And if anybody wants me to quit talking on this topic, show me anybody in your family that has a foot like that. If anybody out there listening today has a foot like that and that can hang from a tree by their toes, I'm done. You win.
Yeah, that's right.
But Mr. Ray, now we're in trouble. She has 2 eyes that face forward, just like a human. I mean, oh, if you push on she has eyes and they face forward. I mean, just like.
Looks kind of like a lemur.
This is their show.
Yeah.
When you teach a generation to listen to what they say, critically evaluate it, and then compare it to what we see in the world, we can prepare a generation to deal with this. So the truth about this is what?
Carl, let's stop right there. If you want to find out the answer, stay with us. We'll be right back after these messages.
We hope you're enjoying Origins TV. It all started at Cornerstone Television in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We've been producing new episodes for over 37 years now. We praise God for the success of the program and are excited to introduce you to Origins and to us. If you're interested in watching more episodes of Origins, you can find them on our YouTube page. Simply go to YouTube and search Cornerstone Television Network. Click the like and subscribe buttons, then you'll find the best episodes of Origins in our playlist. You can also visit our website at ctvn.org/origins. One more way you can stay connected with us is to subscribe to our free monthly Hope Today newsletter, which you can do from our website. And if you have any questions, call us here at Cornerstone Television at 888-665-4483. We'd love to connect with you. Thank you for watching.
Hello, welcome back to Origins. We're talking to Carl Kerby, who's been sharing about Ida, a missing link. Carl, what we've seen so far, I don't think Ida's very missing, and she's certainly not a link, but I think you've got some more, don't you?
I do, because remember what we heard from my favorite voice of like almost all times? Take a listen to what he said.
Now people can say, okay, you say we're primates, like monkeys and apes, and that we came from very simple, generalized mammals. Show us the link. The link, they would have said, until now, is missing. Well, it is no longer missing.
Sir David Attenborough, it is no longer missing. I mean, it's done. Close the doors, close the books, and go home.
Lucy and Piltdown Man and all the other ones, you know, those were what they didn't count. Here it is.
But you know what's interesting? I tell people, be patient, give science time, it'll catch up to reality. Typically, I tell people, when you hear about a new missing link, put a tickler in your electronic calendar, right, a year from now, to go look up that link and see where it stands a year from now. It didn't take a year. This came out within a matter of just a few weeks. And this is what they wrote. Scientists divided on Ida as the missing link. Why Ida fossil is not the missing link? In order to establish that connection, Ida would have had to have had anthropoid-like features that evolved after anthropoids split away from lemurs and other early primates. Here, alas, Ida fails miserably. And it gets even better. The next line says this, so Ida is not a missing link. And this came in a matter of weeks of the big TV show, the books, the plush doll, everything. And
the Google search engine.
Oh, the Google search. I mean, and this, it got destroyed, but it's still being taught.
Isn't that something?
It's still being told when you go to the museums. And look at this headline. I love this. This is a conservative source, right? MSNBC.
Oh, yeah.
Look, when they're against you and they're on that side, it's bad. And I got to tell you, the 3 people that read this article were probably shocked. I mean, so, anyway, missing link primate isn't a link after all. Remember Ida, the fossil discovery announced last May with his own book and TV documentary, a publicity blitz. Hello?
Yeah.
Do you see what they just acknowledged?
Yeah.
It was a publicity blitz.
Yeah.
And this is not from somebody that's friendly towards our position.
No.
Called it the link that would reveal the earliest evolutionary roots of monkeys, apes, and humans. Experts protested that Ida wasn't even a close relative, and now a new analysis supports the reaction. Reality is, it's actually as far removed from the monkey-ape-human ancestry as a primate can be. That is not a good day.
But it's the same picture, the same bones.
Same picture, everything.
What happened that they were suddenly, the arms, the legs, the opposable thumbs, the flat face, what happened?
You know what makes me mad, Mr. Ray, is when I read these quotes like this. It's a part of evolution that's been hidden so far. It's been hidden because all the other specimens are so incomplete. See, this is another one of those indictments. For the last 150 years, all the missing links that we've had, they're no good anymore because now we got Ida. What's the truth about all those previous missing links? They're so incomplete. They got almost nothing. Yeah. And now, here's the one that's so complete, and it's the link, but it is not the link. And so what really makes me angry, Mr. Ray, is that when I hear about, oh, this is the link, when the truth is, all those other links, the last 150 years, this is what they wrote. It's a part of our evolution that's been hidden so far. It's been hidden because all the other specimens are so incomplete. As a matter of fact, it goes on to say this. They are so broken, there's almost nothing to study. So all these other links that we've heard about for all these years that supposedly
the
prove...
displays in the museums, the books.
There's almost nothing. And it gets even worse. The gentleman who did the TV show, the plush doll and all that stuff, he knew that it was not a link. He knew that it was not a link, and I can prove it. Because when you listen to him, when he was just doing media interviews and the team that he assembled to look at this, take a listen to what they said.
We are, of course, not stating that this is our direct ancestor. That's too much.
Excuse me? That's too much?
Yeah.
What was the name of the show?
The link.
The Link. The book, The Link. When you go read, and you can still read this when they talk about the show, what does it say about the link? Missing link found. We're, of course, not stating...
Human ancestor.
It's a human ancestor. Human shows early human evolution. We are, of course, not stating that it's a link. That is an absolute lie. He knew that it wasn't a link. He acknowledged that with the team. The whole team knew it wasn't, because take a listen.
It's not a direct ancestor of monkeys and humans, but researchers say it provides a good indication of what such an ancestor may have looked like.
It is a member of the ancestors. We could call it, if we would put it familiarly, we are not dealing with our grandmother, but perhaps with our grand-aunt.
That's as clear as mud.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's our grand-aunt? I mean, I don't have the cool accent or anything like that, but I got to tell you, that is bad information. They knew that it was not a link and they tried to cover it up. But when you look at the DVD cover, when you look at the advertisements for it, here's what it says right here. Scientists have discovered the oldest and most complete fossil of a human ancestor. That's what it says on the DVD cover, and you can still get it. And it's in the museum in Denver as one of the supposed evolutionary ancestors. It goes on to say this: after 2 years of secret study, an international team of scientists have revealed it to the world. Look, Jorn didn't discover this thing. He found a fossil dealer in Germany, bought it. The guy wanted so much money, he had to go raise the funds. He bought it in secret. They studied it for 2 years, and then they released all their findings. And you're never going to believe this, Mr. Ray. It was such a coincidence. It just so happened to coincide with the 150th anniversary of the publication of Origin of Species.
Oh, wow.
Right? It was just a total coincidence that this thing got released, this media blitz, as it was called. They released it at the same time. And he knew that it was not a link. The fossil's remarkable state of preservation allows an unprecedented glimpse into early human evolution. Not true at all. Listen again to what Mr. Jorn has to say as I found this interview that he did. Having previously experienced how blogosphere had picked up his work and seen Chinese dinosaur finds the object of bad early descriptions from blogging, Jorn decided to orchestrate launch of the fossil in a combined scientific and public event. Atlantic Productions was brought in on the project in order to, quote, take the story straight to the masses in a way that would appeal to the average person, especially kids. That bothers me. This was a whole media blitz going after younger generation to deceive them into thinking that we evolved from some ape-like ancestor. He intentionally went after him, and he told it, and he knew it wasn't the link. He knew it wasn't the link. Because let's keep reading another quote here. Think about this for a second. I want to set this up. We all make mistakes. I mean, come on. We're all human. We make mistakes. And if I make a mistake and I find out about it, typically what am I going to do? Accept responsibility. You know, I'm sorry. I gave you bad information. I blew it, right? Not Jorn. No, I do not regret the media blitz at all. Excuse me. What did he just reveal?
That it wasn't true.
It was a media blitz. They came out, it was a media blitz. It was just this thing to generate information to get it out there. And then he goes on and he says this: EDA is still one of the most iconic fossils and the only complete primate fossil ever. I agree. It is an amazing fossil when you compare it to all the others. 3 pieces of a jaw, 17 bone fragments, right? I mean, Lucy's the next best thing that they've got as far as content. It's like 23 to 28% complete. But this one was like nearly 100% complete. But still, it wasn't a human ancestor. It was an ape. It was a lemur. He goes on. Whether or not she is a direct ancestor, something we never claimed in the scientific paper. Now think about that for a second.
We never claimed.
You know why this bothers me? Where did he say he didn't claim it?
In the scientific.
In the scientific paper.
But not in the media blitz.
Let's take a look again.
When you're looking at the whole body, you can look at the quite short arms, quite short legs. It's not like a very elongated face like you see in most lemurs. And that's comparable almost to us. You can see that it's got 5 fingers, of course, and nails on all the fingers. But also, the thumb is opposable like us.
Not in the media blitz, not on the TV show where he was getting paid the big money.
Which is the only thing people see. Nobody's reading the scientific paper.
How many young people do you think read the scientific paper?
Yeah, nobody.
How many young people saw the show and are still seeing the show because it's still being used in classrooms? Wow. I've had kids share that with me. It's just as part of the story. She is undoubtedly the only fossil that tells us what an early primate really looked like. Other fossils are mostly fragments. Now watch this. To justify what he did, any pop band is doing the same thing. Any athlete is doing the same thing. We have to start thinking the same way in science. When I was raised, science was knowledge. How did you gain knowledge? Through the scientific method. It was not about marketing a message.
Yeah.
We have been duped, and now the whole thing of science has changed. Again, I encourage you, check out the 1828 dictionary definition of science, compare it with the modern day dictionary definition. You'll understand why we can't, quote unquote, according to the world today, do science.
Well, we have to start thinking about science like Taylor Swift or like the Newsboys or something. I mean, this is a pop band. How can he say something like that?
Well, let me give you one last piece, and I know this is a lot of information, but I hope people will go dig for themselves. Remember this quote that we saw at the beginning, one of the experts? This fossil rewrites our understanding of the evolution of primates. Let me put it like this. If one fossil can rewrite everything that we've known to be true for 150 years, how strong is your position?
Yeah.
Word of God, does it teach the same thing as 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago? Yes. Science book in the school classrooms today, does it teach the same thing as 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago? Not even close. Yeah. Which one are you going to sell yourself out to? I challenge people. Trust God's word, learn to use it for your authority, your standard to look at the world around you, and you'll be able to stand firm and be bold.
And like you said, these things, if they do rattle you, just go back a year, go back 2 years.
Absolutely.
And you'll see that the vast majority of those who were saying that it was something are now saying, whoops, there's nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Carl, thank you for being on the show.
Oh, my privilege, my pleasure.
And I want to thank you for joining us. On today's program, we considered the secular presentation of EDA as the latest representative of the missing link. And we saw the utter bankruptcy for any factual basis for this claim. On the contrary, humans, apes, and all other creatures consistently and universally show forth the evidence of intelligent design. It just goes to show once again that we know what the Bible says is true, and the proof really is all around us. If you enjoy Origins, we sure could use your help to keep this creation television program on the air. Your support, both prayerfully and financially, make a big impact. So let's work together to reveal how awesome our Creator is, and we'll see you next time right here on Origins.
Thank you for watching this edition of Origins. For a DVD of this series, you can order online or send a $12 donation to cover shipping and handling, and write to Origins Program Number 2413, Cornerstone Network, Wall, Pennsylvania, 15148.
This presentation was made possible by the faithful prayers and financial support of you, our Cornerstone family.